Hello, my name is Dylan, but you can call me Buttercup. Welcome to Buttercup Yarn Art, a soft-spoken video journal where I play with yarn and share my thoughts. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you'd like to see more, please subscribe. If there's anything you'd like to hear me talk about, please leave a comment to let me know. I have finally started knitting on the Thunderclap shawl by Emily Wood, distributed by Sweet Georgia. I will leave a link in the description below. I am still working on the flax sweater behind the scenes, and I promise when it's finished, I will show it off here. So there are a couple of things that are going on that I would like to talk about. As most of you here will probably know, Ravelry is one of the biggest knitting websites on the internet. And about 9 months ago, they updated the website's interface to a design called New Rav, which included some autoplay animated elements, which caused seizures for some users, and the color scheme was much brighter and featured a lot and caused a lot more blue light, which caused migraines and headaches and other intense symptoms in those with photosensitivity to blue light. After significant backlash, they added the option to use classic Ravelry, but this option was buried in the new interface. And for many users, it was impossible to even get to the option to use classic Ravelry, let alone toggle it on and actually use the website with it. As of March 31st, classic Ravelry is no longer available. A dark mode has been added, but there are significant problems with that dark mode. Now, dark modes are generally designed to reduce blue light emissions from screens, both phone and computer. They're also designed to reduce battery usage. As my cat grabs a snack in the background. Ravelry's dark mode is entirely blue. Completely. Which defeats the purpose of having a dark mode to reduce blue light. People with blue light sensitivities are once again having problems because this dark mode is entirely blue. You miss more blue light. There is a boycott going until April 6th. It was originally until the 2nd. It has been extended. I will be endeavoring wherever possible to include non-Ravelry links to things for accessibility purposes because of this. I personally do not experience any of these issues, but I know people who do. And again, they are having intense symptoms as a result of not just new Rav, but the dark mode specifically. Before I logged out of Ravelry, I sent some feedback in saying, hey, this dark mode being blue is a problem. Maybe you can call this dark blue and come out with a non-blue version that does not emit the blue light. In response, I was asked where I found the information that a blue screen will emit blue light, and I wish I was kidding about that. I emailed back to clarify that they were asking me where I got the information that a blue screen emits blue light. They said yes, that is what they're asking, because they want to know where the misconception comes from. Oh, and in that first response, where they initially asked me where did I get that information, they said that they could disprove it with a spectrometer. That a blue screen emits blue light. I really can't comprehend that. But after they confirmed that, yes, they were asking where I heard that a blue screen emits blue light, I sent resources on the physics of color and the biology of color, how our brains and eyes create our perception of color. And I said that is where I got that idea. And also, I directly know people who have been negatively affected by this. I have not heard back after that. So, there isn't really a pattern archive, a centralized pattern archive that I know of to compete with Ravelry. So there's not really an alternative that I can point anyone to. If there are particular designers that you enjoy, find out if they offer their patterns anywhere else. And I think sustained pressure on Ravelry directly will help, if not fix the problem, get them to acknowledge that there is a problem. Because as of right now, they are not even acknowledging that there is a problem. which is it's unacceptable. They need to do something. They need to release a statement, and they need to make Ravelry more accessible for more people. One solution that I have seen suggested is offering users the option to customize the color palette for their Ravelry experience. And I think that's a great idea. I don't know how easy or difficult that would be to implement. I have no experience with web design or coding. But if it is simple for them to implement, I think they should implement that and roll it out as soon as possible. There is still a problem of having to navigate the current design of the website to get to those options. If possible, if the website could be programmed to match system settings for color palettes. I know a lot of people with blue light sensitivity change their system color palette to mitigate symptoms. But this does actually lead into the second thing I want to talk about, which is directly related to this whole Ravelry situation right now. That is the idea of competing accessibility needs. Not everyone needs the same thing when it comes to accessibility. Some people need ramps, for instance, to get into buildings, others do not. Some people with visual impairments need glasses, others need guide dogs. There are many different examples of this for any kind of differing accessibility need. And Ravelry has been doubling and tripling down on the idea that their design for the website, as it is now, is the most accessible for the most people. And I am not saying that's not true. What I am saying is that it's not the most accessible for everyone. It's infuriating to me that they refuse to even acknowledge that they could be causing problems for people. And they don't seem to be acknowledging the existence of competing accessibility needs. They are looking at the design of their website from one angle and refusing to consider any other angle. And that is completely unacceptable, in my opinion. They really genuinely need to change what they're doing. I think if they would hire a web designer or a UX designer, user interface designer, with a focus on accessibility, to give them options that would actually genuinely make their site accessible for everyone. And I get it, they're a really small team with a relatively small budget, but they don't have to hire this person on full time. They can hire someone like this on a project basis, and I think that would do them a lot of good. I think they also need some kind of PR help, because the response has been horrible. They need PR help, customer service help, and again, that can be contracted on a project basis. It doesn't have to be full-time all the time, but they need to do something, because what they're doing now is not working. And I encourage you, if you're watching this video and have not logged out of Ravelry, please do so until at least April 6th. And do your best to source patterns from places other than Ravelry. Send them feedback and let them know that this is not acceptable. And log out. I really do think that sustained pressure on them will at the very least get them to acknowledge that there is a problem, which is a step in the right direction. I can't really say I hope this video was relaxing, because I'm very angry. And I have never found anger to be relaxing. But I hope you found it informative or interesting. And if you want something relaxing, I do have other videos where I am not angry that you may enjoy more. Either way, I hope you will subscribe, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.